Helskate coming out on February 15th. I played the demo. I played it, Dave.
And
I don't know. Okay. We talked about this last week. It's a creative concept. It's a very creative concept. And honestly, it's pieced together pretty well. When I played the demo, it has the elements of feeling like a good game. And I think it's a game that you put time into, it will flow really well. Like I do think that because okay, if trying to go on what the game is real quick, and we'll show the trailer. It's a skateboarding roguelike. Like, why are those two combined? So essentially, you're playing as Anton Falcon, who is a diehard skateboard fan. He gets into this hell and like he has to fight these like monsters and bosses, and so that's
yeah, essentially you and your friends are like trapped in this like hellish purgatory ruled by Garland, god of the vert.
it's kind of silly, kind of like it's a stupidly silly game, but it's okay to be honest. But let's go ahead and I'll pull up the trailer real quick. It's one of those games. It's like it's not gonna break the bank. It's gonna be a game that you can play for a few hours. Once you go all the way, it's one of those games that you can kind of stop playing. But I think it's gonna be a game. The more you play, the better you get, and the more fluid it gets. And like right
Yeah.
off the bat, you think it's gonna just be a skating game, like a skateboarder game, and then it takes a quick turn into this demon-looking feel. Like it gets dark. You see these monsters, and like you're darker now. Just hack and
Yes.
slash. Like it's just combining so many weird things into one. But it's okay because it seems like it's just for fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And guys, if you're just listening on the Spotify, what we're kind of seeing is like Adam said, it looks like you're just gonna be playing like a really cool kind of skateboarding game with some great visuals. But eventually it kind of turns, and you're seeing that these trick lines that are happening are not only trick lines, but it's like trick lines infused with hack and slash combat, where it's
Yeah.
like it's not even so much just two separate things of like, oh, there's a skateboarding section, and then there's like, oh, you're gonna have to fight a boss battle. It's like, no, this dude is literally like doing like a tray flip to a manual to like a grind to like slashing the snake in the face to like a varial flip out. You're just like,
Yeah.
what is happening right now?
Exactly, and it's cool. So it's combining like elements of like classic Tony Hawk games. It's not a realistic. It's
Yes.
an arcade skateboarding game, and that's why it's fun. Like it's nothing too crazy in terms of like the gameplay mechanics. Um, However, like when I was playing it, and I only played it as long as the demo would allow me to, and like I said, it's gonna be kind of hard. Like it's gonna be a game that you can master if you put the time in, but it's fun, and I liked it, and it's one that I'll probably end up picking up once it releases in its full release or early access on February 15th.
Yeah, and I think it's really really cool, and a lot like Adam said, it's like a lot of skateboarding games now are really focused on precision and realism, and this game very much focuses on that early 2000s Tony Hawk arcade style. I'm gonna do 1280 to crooked grind to tray flip manual out, like yeah, like it's very very much that early 2000s Tony Hawk arcade style. And like sometimes I honestly kind of miss that because like the remake of Tony Hawk 1 and 2 came out, and I was playing, like I love skate games. I've skateboarded, I've skated for a while. I love skate games. And I was playing games. I was playing Session. I was going back and I tried to play Skater XL, which was just an absolute nightmare. I don't know if anybody's tried to play if you guys have tried to play Skater XL. I don't know who decided that control system, but it was not great. But sometimes I just like to go back to that like arcade style, man. Like that Tony Hawk 1 and 2 was so fun playing that remake, and I'm just like I'm glad that they made this game like that cuz it wouldn't have worked. Like it wouldn't have worked any other way, you know?
A couple things I wonder about this game. Or hold on, let me take a step back. So it's gonna have elements of like classic roguelikes where like it has the different upgrades that you can have during your run, and then it's going to have the permanent ones, which is in forms of tattoos. So as you get tattoos,
Tattoos.
as you get tattoos, like those are your permanent upgrades, which I think is really cool. There's tons of different types of monsters. Like there's gonna be monsters like shooting lasers at you on the wall. There's some that chase you, and there's some that you have to grind on. But it also takes some elements of Tony Hawk where like you have to do this certain like thing and or for example, you have to collect Helskate. And so it's like the classic like collect skate and things like that. You have to do a combo, kind of like where you have to collect grind and collect or combo. And like so it has that where you have to collect all these pieces to make a combo. And I think that's really cool.
It's cool. It's taking inspiration from Tony Hawk and putting in those, yes, it is it's a roguelike. You have to make it through the level, you have to beat all the enemies, but you also have these Tony Hawk style challenges, like Adam said, where you have to collect Hellskate and you have to do there's probably challenges where it's like, oh, you have to do this certain trick on the certain spot, or it's like find the secret tape, because there is skate tapes in this game. So it's like find the secret tape, and like I don't know, it's Tony Hawk but done in like a very different kind of way. Yeah, very, very unique. It's kind of cool.
And kind of going into like the mechanics of why adding the skateboarding element. So the skateboarding element, the more combos you do or the different level ups you do. So like for example, like you have this skill or like you do like you find this upgrade where when you do a kickflip, it adds more damage, or you have this combo, it adds more damage. Like so like your combos increase your damage, like these different abilities increase your damage. And so that's kind of how they're tying it together. And kind of where I felt like it was hard, like I said, like the more hours you feel or you put into this game, the better this game is going to be, because where I felt like the disconnect was is like it was hard to combine the two together for me. Like you know what I mean? Like it felt like it was hard to be cohesive, if that makes sense. Like the thought of the game is really cool. Like but for a beginner in the game, it's really hard to combine the feel of like I'm skateboarding but also fighting things. Like that it was hard to do both at the same time, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It 100% makes sense. I think it's going to be very difficult to kind of get a hold of. But I think, like you said, once you kind of put some hours into it, you're going to get a feel of like how this needs to flow. And I think it'll become a lot more easier. And like you said, I do think it's really interesting that they've attached these buffs to like certain tricks. It's that's kind of like the way that they figured out to like make it almost make sense, where it's you do this certain trick and all of a sudden you have like a 5% damage boost. It's like you do this certain combo and all of a sudden you have like a like a 20% decrease in like damage taken or something like that. Like it's really kind of cool that they introduce these roguelike aspects of the game into what is essentially a Tony Hawk fan game. Like
And I mean, with roguelikes, like you're gonna put hours into it anyways. Like you're gonna get better each run, so that just makes sense with the game. Like, yeah, I'm not very good at the skateboarding aspect, but I can go hack and slash my way around until I die, but only get 2 levels. But as you like get better and like you understand the mechanics, like any roguelite, you get better and like it's more fun. And I think that's kind of where it's gonna go. Um, but other than that, it's a game that looks exciting in terms of like it's unique, it looks fun, it is fun. Like I played it for a little bit, and one I'm gonna get as it comes out February 15th. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about it.
should be really, really cool. Steam Early Access happens February 15th. We say this all the time. We are always looking for games that do something original and something unique, and this game 100% has done that. So check it out.